In the sprawling mansion of the Bosco family, where even the floors gleamed like polished silver, lived Rebecca, a quiet young woman who worked as a servant, doing everything from cleaning crystal dishes to arranging the endless rows of luxury shoes. Rebecca never complained, not when she woke before dawn, not when the marble floors numbed her feet, and certainly not when Mr. Bosco's voice echoed through the house like thunder. Because working for a millionaire, she believed, was still better than having nothing. But everything changed the morning she scratched his luxury car. It was a tiny scratch, so faint it could disappear with the right angle of sunlight. Yet to Mr. Bosco, the man whose suits cost more than Rebecca's yearly salary, it was unacceptable. And he delivered his punishment with a voice cold enough to freeze the air. Is greater than, "You will wash every car in the garage, every morning, before sunrise, for 1 week." The Bosco garage was not a garage. It was a museum of vehicles worth more than entire neighborhoods. Rebecca swallowed her shame and did as she was told. On the first morning, while scrubbing the third car, Rebecca's hands trembled partly from exhaustion, partly from the sting of humiliation. It was then she heard the soft footsteps of someone approaching. She braced for Mr. Bosco. But it wasn't him. It was Duke Bosco, the only son of the mansion. Calm, gentle-eyed, and nothing like his father. He looked at her, confusion in his voice. His greater than, "Rebecca, why are you doing this?" She shyly murmured, "It was my fault. I scratched the car." Duke knelt beside her, his designer clothes brushing against the soapy floor, and whispered with a softness that startled her, "Is greater than not enough to deserve this?" Rebecca didn't know what to do. Her heart raced. Her hands froze in midair. But Duke took the sponge from her trembling fingers and said, "Is greater than, let me help." She panicked. "Sir, your father will be furious." But Duke only smiled slightly. "Is greater than let him be. I'm tired of watching him treat you like this." Only then did Rebecca notice the tension in his eyes, the kind that comes from watching someone you care about being mistreated. For a while, they scrubbed cars in silence, sunlight slowly creeping over the mansion walls. Then Duke broke the quiet with a truth she never expected. "Is greater than Rebecca. You don't know this, but I've liked you for a long time." Rebecca nearly dropped the sponge. The millionaire's son, admitting feelings for the servant girl. By the time they finished, Mr. Bosco arrived, inspecting the cars with his usual superiority. "Is greater than good. Maybe now you've learned your place," he said sharply. Rebecca looked down, but Duke stepped forward, voice strong and steady. "Is greater than, the punishment ends now. If you have a problem with her, then you have a problem with me." Silence filled the garage. Mr. Bosco stared at his son, stunned. Duke did not back down. And for the first time since Rebecca entered that mansion, someone stood between her and the storm. As she walked away, her heart hammered with a mix of fear, gratitude, and something warmer, something she hadn't let herself feel in years. Whatever this was between her and Duke, it was only the beginning. For the rest of the day, Rebecca felt tension thick in the air, like the mansion itself was holding its breath. Duke barely left her side, finding subtle ways to check on her. A light tap on the kitchen door. A soft, "Are you okay?" A silent look that spoke louder than words. But Mr. Bosco, he was silent. Too silent. That was what truly frightened Rebecca. By evening, the mansion's lights glowed against the darkening sky. The family dinner began upstairs, and Rebecca, as usual, served quietly. Duke kept stealing glances at her, but Rebecca kept her eyes down. She didn't want trouble, but trouble had already found her. When dinner ended and the staff began clearing the table, Mr. Bosco stepped into the doorway. His presence alone made the room feel colder. "Is greater than Rebecca," he said, in a tone too calm to trust. "In my office. Now. Take E." Her heart dropped. Duke immediately moved beside her. "I'm coming too." Mr. Bosco's eyes narrowed. "No, she comes alone." But Duke didn't move. is greater than... Dad, whatever you need to say, you can say it in front of both of us. For a moment, father and son stood in a silent, sharp standoff. Finally, Mr. Bosco turned and walked to his office. Duke followed, hand gently brushing Rebecca's. A silent promise. Don't be afraid. Inside the office. The office smelled of expensive leather and authority. Mr. Bosco sat behind his massive desk, fingers steepled, eyes cold. Rebecca stood near the door, hands clasped tightly. Then he spoke. Is greater than you have become a distraction. Rebecca swallowed hard. Sir, I never. Is greater than silence. Duke stepped forward, anger rising. Stop talking to her like that. Mr. Bosco ignored him. Is greater than, I hired you to clean, not to charm my son.